Good afternoon, family, and welcome again to another video. And we're here today to congratulate you all for passing the trial of your convictions and all the convoluted aspects of problems that these devils, demons, fallens, robots, bots, whatever you want to call it, right? One is still of the same kingdom. They have put you through. Congratulations, heir of our father's promise. Welcome again. And yeah. We're here today to learn of what? The truth. To learn of ways to know your enemy better, especially in today's topic, right? To know your enemy better, but to know more of your father in you, as you, right? In the sense of the free will that you're given and as to how much power it holds and who you are and the type of authority you're given. Now, I'm going to act unlike the other previous videos. I just stuttered like crazy. Unlike that previous video, right? Um I'm actually going to read the verses. So I'm going to give you guys about 10 seconds to grab your biblioteca, your Bi-Ble, right? And we're just going to get started, and make sure that today's lesson is well, spoken. Forgive me. And yeah, it's been about 10 seconds. About 10 seconds. Let's get started. So the subject is first what? This is going to be Psalms 82. So we're going to talk about what? We are images of Elohim, right? In the mortal realm. So like the previous four videos like the fourth video prior to now that I made in the past, right? And uploaded. I talked about an example of how the soul is. I gave you somewhat. I believe it was like about 18 minutes or 19 minutes, something like that. And I gave you guys an illustration, a mental illustration, right, by depicting certain aspects of the spirit, right? And it's important for us to know these things. Now let's get started. This is Psalms 82, by the way. All right. Give you guys about 5 to 10 seconds. Psalms 82. I'm gonna start, and of course, translate it, by the way. Let's get started. Verse 1. Elohim stands amongst the congregation in the highest of order, and give verdict upon all noble spirits. Now, in the Biblioteca, right, what does it say when it's spoken that? It says, God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judges among the gods. See, noble spirits is what? Because now we have words like archdemons, we have fallens, right? We have things like devils, right? Now, what do I mean by noble spirits? Noble spirits is any spirit, right? It doesn't have to be of good. It could be a maleficent. I don't know how to say it. Maleficent. I don't know. I think believing. Woo, woo. Sheesh. I cannot pronounce the word right now, but it'll come back to me. Believing it. I think that's how you say it properly. I'm not sure, but if you can help me, please say it in the comments right there. Believing it, right? Spirits. It can be very malicious, right? And it can have any aspect of good or bad. Noble spirits are spirits given authority. And they're more so like the cardinal of spirits that are based off of principles, thrones, powers, and dominion, and all of these things, even virtues, in the higher arcs of monarchy or hierarchy of stature. when it comes to spiritual ascension. Noble spirits, right? Because it says gods, like lowercase g. So this is why the title says the image of who? Yahuwah. Because why? We are, yes, and per se, the lower versions of our Father, but so was Christ, right? But he was the embodiment of him, fully in the flesh, because he gained access. He was given authority. That was his duty. He gained access to be that, to have it all, so we can learn how to be like him. All right? Noble spirits, remember that. So how long will you accept the wicked one's unfair what antics? Thus defend those that are bastards and those that are always conflicted. Deliver those in need for the enemy's wicked games. And the bastards are those that are born out of marriage, or you could say that don't have a father, simple like that, just to make it easy, right? And yeah. I know we use that word a lot to insult people, but it's actually a word. It could be pertained as an insult, but who really cares, right? We are already accepted by Elohim, so we don't have to worry about family ship. That's why we're all brothers and sisters. For they know not their actions and are made unaware of these issues. So we are fighting against the spirits. Noble spirits, demons, right? It could be devils. It could be fallens, right? And I say fallens because they're the hierarchy of demons and devils. So they are basically planetary destructive. Okay? Because in Revelation they don't depict angels to be the size of our size or our height. No, they're like the height of skyscrapers. They're huge. Okay? Planetary devastation. And no, I'm not talking about Naruto. Alright? Verse 6. Let me remind you all that you're made in the image of Yahuwah and of his family. In the Biblioteca, the Bi-Ble, it says, I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. So, think about what I just said. The image, you can't, like I said in my previous video, you can't have a mom, she has a certain characteristic trait, physically or mentally, right? Or behavior-wise, right? And you don't grow to have that. It's impossible. That's why Yahuwah he has what? He has a humor. So do we. He has characteristic traits. Mind you, he's the foundation of everything, solid and physic and liquid, all in one, even gas. The embodiment of it all, put in one. He commands it, he orders it, all in one. So how much we? We're just like I said, we're like droplets. We're like droplets from a hot sphere, right? That literally had like that had, I want to say crack, but that just dropped a few fragments of its heat in water, and then it cooled off, and then it gained a solid figure rather than it being malleable, right? It's still hot and it's eternally hot because the spirit don't die. We're just recapping exactly what the previous videos were talking about. Okay? Now, we should continue. But we're mortals, so death will collect the shells of our souls and return them to the earth. In the time of urgency, stand forth, Eli, and give your verdict upon the earth, upon all who refused his inheritance. So the image of our Father, we are we are fully. And Christ was the embodiment. So Christ came to lay the conditions for our Father's expectation. So we can be full. So that we can be given freedom. We have freedom, but we're still trapped, because if true freedom comes like this, when you get to a point where you can see in the spirit. Because yes, the reason why we couldn't see in the spirit or hear the voice of our Father was because the damages that our ancestors had done. Yes. A lot of people pray for their freedom. A lot of people pray for a lot of, forgiveness and mercy, but they don't realize that also your family's, you know, sins, bondages, it can latch onto you. I battle every day, mentally, spiritually, heartfully, vocally, verbally. I mean, every day, because intimidation. See, the one thing that I remind you guys all the time: know your enemy's tactics. So they only can do but three things. They don't have any power over you. They don't. They never did. They never did. See, we don't realize that the angels are made separate, unlike us. They're not made like us. They have their own unique style and physique of their own existence. They're not made like us. A lot of people think that when we go, when the rapture is gonna happen, and then we're gonna be giving you bodies, we're never gonna be able to procreate. We're never. No, we were made to procreate. Like, why else would paradise be given, and then we're gonna be put on the earth, and it will be made a new earth? Why do you think it says that? It's just that all of the stuff that was on here at this exact moment, where we have no control, well, where the world, as far as sin, make people lose control, right, over their urges and desires, is no longer going to be a thing. Meaning everything that held us mentally, physically, heartful wise, it's no longer going to be in demand. We're still going to be able to have kids. We're still going to be able to have families. We're still going to be able to go out there and farm, whatever the case is, G.I. Joe, whatever the case is. In the situations, if you wanna build a car, we're still going to be able to do all of these things. It's just that there's not going to be a sense of what? Problems. It's going to be peaceful. And we're not going to be normal. So that's going to be a new set of an age where people might be able to fly. Who knows? I'm not going to say much on that, but that's probably going to be for another video. Can't say too much here right now. Now let's actually go to another Psalms, because I want us to understand something real quick. Because a lot of us, we don't realize we're favored, right? We're favored abundantly. I'm talking abundantly, so much to a point where it's ridiculous. And I wonder how we're still alive today, because if it was not for Yahuwah's mercy and his love, everything would have been gone. Everything. Everybody wants to believe that they're gods, like the mythological deities and all of these stuff. Remember this: when you deal with esoteric aspects of belief, they're not things to be played with. Everything has a law and there has a regulation. Remember who brought these beliefs into society. Put this sock. I felt that cold tingle. Remember who brought these things to society. Remember the Romans. Remember the words that are being used. Remember that English derives from an origin. English is a made-up language. English is a spell casting language. The same way that there is a gods and spell. That's why it's so easy to finesse, to manipulate many people because of words. So when we are not really sure of what is going on, you can even hypnotize yourself by speaking. What do you think affirmation means? You're speaking words into life, into reality. That's why it's important that we speak life, not death, unto others. You know what I mean? Now we're going to be in Psalms 84. We're going to make this a little quick. All right? So please keep up. It's been about 10 seconds. All right, let's get started. Master, you show favor unto your lands as you brought Israel out of captivity. Let alone you've forgotten our iniquities and redeemed us from sin forever. You took a different approach over your anger on us instead. So Yahuwah, show us mercy and end our punishment, because will it will it be forever? My apologies. Forgive me for that, y'all. Will our punishment also involve our generations to come? Like I said, sin. Is it going to be something that's going to pursue you? Because we ask for forgiveness and we don't even know that our ancestors might have made a deal, that has a lot of, blockage, that has a lot of death, that has a lot of things that had to do with sacrifice and all of these extra stuff. You never know. So you always got to ask for forgiveness for those things. Always. Especially if it's not broken off of you. If it's still attached to you. Alright? Let's continue. Are we able to be redeemed again, so that misery will leave us as we always worship you with joy? Show us your mercy, Master, and save us. All we do is await your response of peace unto us and our leaders. I ask that Eli, you shall grant those that are God, those that are our God. Forgive me. I ask that Eli, you shall grant those that are to guide us wisdom, so they turn not against you again in their foolishness. And I believe that they use the word folly. I believe folly was the word. Where was it at? Yep, folly. Folly. Yeah. You again in their foolishness. Basically, they said folly, and it's foolishness or stupidity or acts of stupidness. That's just how I'm going to say. Legends of awesomeness. Surely, those that love you will not have to face your wrath in these lands. Your mercy and truth glorify your name, for it brings peace through love. The earth shows your truth daily, and in your righteousness, your wonders is seen from heaven. So, brothers and sisters, know that Eli's favor will bring an increase to his lands abundantly. For only righteousness will be acceptable before him, since he will guide us in his expectations. My goodness, forgive me for that. So yes, favor, and knowing how and what is the favor. Okay? Because a lot of times we don't know how much we're favored, so we expect that things are going to go a certain way. No, please. You're favored. Just don't be egotistic. Don't be ignorant, and don't be arrogant with the favor that you're given. Because as much as it's given, it could be taken. And you don't want Yahuwah to take when he gives. Because it's one thing where you already have before he really gives you a full amount of something. Then when he even takes, he don't take a little bit, he takes a whole lot, almost everything. So please don't be that person where he takes and you already have things going on and then he takes everything. Because honestly, he already gave you the first thing that before he gave you the second thing that you probably asked for, probably never asked for, or that you needed. Okay? You're loved. Know that. Know that. And a lot of people are doing these esoteric things. Remember, if you believe in Yahusha, in him, Yahuwah Elohim Adonai, you're gonna know that certain things and practices are not good. Just letting you know, they're not good. They're not good for you. They're not good for us. There are a lot of things that happen. Like one time, I had a dream about seeing the three sisters. Right now, a lot of people might not know what that means. Right, but if you ever researched mythology, right, the sisters of fate. A lot of you probably watched Hercules before, right? These things are not normal stuff that happen on a daily basis. So you have one that can be for good, and you have the other that is not. Does that make sense? One for good and one is not. One for good and one is not. When you are a nuthead or a hardball, hmm, pause. Am I supposed to? No, I'm not going to say that word. That's probably offensive to that man. I don't know what his allegations are, if it's true or not. I'm not going to say that. But if you are not a knucklehead, but like a stubborn person when it comes to like your integrity, right? And you're showing everything that you could have, and plus more, and it does not fit your character. Understand that these things happen for a reason. That you are a true one. You're not fake. You're not anybody else's toy, not anybody else's game to be played with. You do exactly what you're supposed to do. Resist. You can accept things, right? In a sense where it's for you, because when it's for you, it'll present itself that way. See, understand that things that are good don't come without a fight. But at the same time, it's never hard to miss because it's always a decision that we make or we don't make. And it always spin around to land exactly where it's supposed to be at. That's predestined. That's destiny, or you want to call it fate. That's how that works. Sometimes we fight for things in the aspect on how we want to fight for things. And sometimes we force situations on the aspect of what we don't need to force. Don't force things that are not. I talk almost every time because I would like for people to understand certain things that can help, their own self. I need help sometimes. I don't feel like I have to beg anybody for help if I really don't understand something or I need backup for anything. No. When it comes, it comes. And honestly, I'm better off doing good, right, than to do bad, because it's one thing where you're smart enough to do bad and you choose to not do bad because you know you can get away with it. And it's another thing doing bad because you choose it. When I was younger and I had the opportunity to do bad, I could have did an insane amount of bad. Let alone the people that were my friends, that considered themselves friends to me, that were only waiting for me to do bad so that they can benefit off of it. Because I've always been a person where anyone that comes around me, I'll be the ideal person. And then I'll try to accomplish it, but because a lot of times don't nobody really do exactly like when you have a vision and everybody has their own vision, but then you're the only person that can make the vision really work because you know how to grasp concepts on certain levels. Kind of makes it hard for you when your intention is not to be selfish, but to expand. So when you lose, you're not really losing. You're just understanding something that was not meant for you. It might be the friendship, it might be the relationship, it might be anything else that's on that ship. But just know that you're gonna end up at a destination where you're not gonna sink. Bars. Straight bars. I'm not gonna lie, that was a straight bar. A straight bar. All right. It's just that's just how that's just how it is. That's just how it is. Where like a lot of people they're gonna be upset. A lot of people get mad because things don't go their way. Like I said, you can reject, but remember to reject what is meant and what is not meant. Sometimes you gotta accept. I mean, I said that wrong. Reject what is not meant, but if it's meant for you, even if you reject, it's gonna come back, and then that time you're gonna have to accept. The same thing goes for objects, and it also goes for people. Or it could be objective, meaning an action to a certain situation that's being put in a scenario. So I want you guys to understand this, okay? And of course, I'm always going to talk about love. I'm a person that love. So if I'm not a person that is like my father, right? I want to be talking about love, and I always got to because listen, we need a lot of that nowadays, especially how everybody is going on. Oh yeah, I also wanted to talk about this little boycotting thing that everybody's trying to do for the celebrities. My question is this: before I get to the love part, what is it really going to help with? At the end of the day, they got the money. We don't. like really think about it. Like everybody's trying to stop paying for their products and all of this stuff. They got the money. We don't. And that's exactly the reason why it's not gonna work because we're only basing it off of one aspect. Media. You thought I was gonna say money, huh? Close. Media. The social media platform. What really is it going to help with? You're going to boycott or stop, right? All of these protests, all of these my apologies, all of these celebrities from making money from the millions of dollars they already have, which they can just buy anything that you would probably want, that you would probably need, and force you like a game of chess into a corner. So you have to go and check whatever they got going on. Are you listening to me? See, the problem is not the celebrities. It's not social media. It's the money. It's the capital. It's the leverage. A lot of you are mistaken exactly what you think you're doing. You're being led, like I told you, stop following trends. You don't even know what's going on. A lot of you are following trends. You have no clue. You have no clue. Stop it. Get some help. Okay. Get some help. Because, like, fam, like, look, if their life is based off of materialistic, needs and wants, what makes you think is going to stop their motion? They got people in the inside and the outside. Remember, a pyramid game, a pyramid scheme. Meaning, there are people as that portray themselves as the mass. They're there just to take information. That do research on the environments and project that as some type of assessed conclusion or analysis. People that literally take notes of our lives, and they make it as a game. Like, what are you really gonna do if you stop following celebrities? A lot of you are gonna get bored because you don't have control to not hop off of social media. First thing. Because if some cannot even stop masturbating, what do you think you're gonna do if social media, let alone some of you make money off of social media? What are you gonna do? Like, realistically speaking, some of you got a business. What are you gonna do? The first thing we gotta establish is the money. It's the leverage. And stop playing these snowball games, because that's exactly what I call it, snowball. They're nothing but flakes. Flakes. Just falling out the sky. Ideas that are just falling out the sky left and right. We use social media for a lot of stuff, not just to follow celebrities. Celebrities use social media to promote their business. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to stop celebrities from projecting their business and some of the stuff that you like, and services that you like, that you got in your house. You bought it off of them. So you already spent money off of them. You already spent money on Jordan, even though Jordan owns shares to a prison. I read a little documentary. I said documentary. I saw this video. My apologies, on YouTube of Jaden Smith, on how he said that schools are like jails. I've been already hip to that already, but it's just that, like, people try to make fun of him because he said that. It's wild though. Like, you will get made fun of for speaking your mind, because nobody's gonna take just even the time to, even seconds, not hours, just a minute or a second, just to even understand why you said what you said. You can't even think outside the comparison of yourself and that, because why? You're stuck. But then you talking about Christ. Like I said, we made estimations on these videos on how many people really truly believe in Christ, because there's not a lot. And that's the truth. You're either going to be a part of the war and choose the side that's going to win, or you're going to choose the side that's going to lose. This is a real war, and a lot of people are not realizing it's a mental war. It's not just a spiritual war. It's a mental war. It's a physical, mental, and spiritual war. Because the same people that are influencing you and manipulating you, they taking over your mind. So if anybody take over your mind, they have your body. So in the spiritual aspect on how they manipulate you, they have your spirit. So not only are they manipulating you, because what do? Seduct, tempt, convict. They convict you, tempt you, and they seduce you. The enemy cannot look. These spirits cannot. Like I said, they don't have any power over you. Seduction can be in anything. Anybody, every business use seduction. That's the reason why we use the word persuasion. Seduction is persuasion. When you conclude it down, you get tempted. What's another word? You get baited, right? To go and buy this specific merchandise or product. Temptation. And then they convict you with facts that are logic, but then it's just based off of opinions and philosophy. So they don't have no power over you. So a lot of people are saying, no, stop following this celebrity. Don't go to their Facebook. Don't go to their Instagram. Don't go to their TikTok. Don't like their stuff that they post, their videos. What is that really going to do? These people, like, they have connections to people that own the app. They can literally just remove your account or just ban you or your number without even a second thought, and just say, oh, there's just a malfunction on the app. As their app, you signed to the agreement of their control. Now your device, that's different. You can do anything to your device. That's different. They don't have any control over that. That's why you have to read these terms and conditions when you apply, and you agree to these things, because you don't know exactly what you're signing up for. I'm just saying. I'm giving you guys a lot of gems. I'm talking things that people will talk about, but they won't talk about it now until after, a lot of destruction is gonna come. The one world religion is gonna happen. The prudence are, the brutes. Let me not use the actual name. The brutes are gonna come, and they're going to take over, because all of these things are going to come from the eastern side, right? Ugh. All of these things are going to come from the eastern side, right? They're going to come from the eastern side, the northeast. And where is the northeast located? Isn't that the cold areas where almost a lot of all the problems originated from? This is Sparta. The conquerors, the ones that came, steal, and destroyed. I'm just saying. The Gentiles, not just the Gentiles, but the Romans, they were told to stop worshiping who? Diana. Who's Diana? Who is Diana? You guys got to understand that the old times, when it comes to idol worship, right? When it comes to all of these idolatry and all of these things, remember that it comes from a specific place. It comes from a specific place. They built statues to the moon, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, all of these stars, all of these planets. They represent a specific entity. And that was what was considered paganism, because they were not just worshiping the stars, they were worshiping the astral depiction of the graphs that was shown in the sky. Pharaohs, the Aztecs, the Mayans. We can go further and further and further and further. The Mayans, they worship the stars, they worship nature. Pagans. They worship the sun, they worship the moon, they worship the earth, the trees, the animals. Mind you, remember this. Something that created you, right? You can give it homage. That does not mean that it's a god. Because even when John was taken into the temple in his dreams, right, and he was shown the end, there were four like beasts that were playing servants in the meeting of the earth, and they all had some type of what? They had some type of formal, what's the word? Convenient looks to themselves. That was relative, very relative to the animals of this earth. Some had a beak, some had a face of a lion, some had the face of a calf. Just saying. A lot of people talk about, you know, entities like Horus, all of these entities. Now, remember this: fallens are planetary destructive like type of beings. These beings are watchers. That's why they were those four beasts are watchers, because there's many more like them. There are watchers. They are watchers. They stand in the astral realm watching where the stars are at. Watching. Watching. We know of day and night because of the sun and the moon. Day and night. The sun and the moon. Where the sun is no longer at, that's where the moon is going to be at. Meaning it's going to be dark with a dim amount of light. So time is not really relevant, because if it was in a certain aspect, there's going to be a lot of things that would not make sense to a lot of what we learn in the concept of mathematics. Because you can't add a droplet of water to another droplet of water. It gives you two droplets. You have to physically make it two droplets. It's called metrics. If there's a law of singularity, that means everything is one and the same. So it would change the aspect of mathematics as what we were taught. Think about that, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people that went to school, a lot of people that went to college, all of these universities, some of these people are still stuck on the idea of that because they don't know what's real and what is not. Two droplets of water do not give you two droplets of water. If you put two droplets of water together, it gives you one bigger droplet of water. It doesn't give you two. It gives you one. But then you go to school, they tell you 1 + 1 is 2. But if you put 1 + 1 = 11, you're going to be told that you're wrong. Who said that you're wrong? Because there could be a zero factor that can exist before the 1 and a factor that can exist after the 1 to make it technically a 10 digit. To make it a 2 digit. Who knows? This is the reason why concepts are very important. But when you understand with mathematics, Pythagorean, right? He gave us a concept. He did not create mathematics. Mathematics already existed. It was a language. It wasn't exactly what we're learning because it was a language. It was letters. It was because mathematics were given to calculate time. Right? So time was expressed by projection. So the cause to the effect was exactly what was determined, what words are, what a name is. Please look deep into what I just said. Because if I have to go and get my notebook and break this down, we're going to be on here all day. Everything makes sense. The same way they talk to you about valence electrons, right? Now, think about it like that. If every atom has a force field, right, based on the electrons and the neutrons and protons, right? And it depends on the amount of electrons and protons to create a specific element. Think of it like that. That it has a code. That it's like a puzzle being put together to create a specific purpose or an effect. That's how language works. That's how mathematics work. And it's never wrong. Real mathematics, the origin of real mathematics. The origin. Not what we're learning out here in today's time, talking about just 1 + 1, all of this, trigonometry and geometry and all of these calculus and all of this. No, like fam, no. It's good. But it's only that's the reason why when you think about it, certain measurements are not applied in certain countries. Because why? I just showed a little bit of my what's the word? of my expression that I don't like to use because, like I said, this is a topic that I could really talk about, but I'm trying. I'm over here shaking my legs because I'm not trying to really prolong this, like, just to give you guys an aspect of something that you can understand that's basic. And if you would like to learn more, please use what I gave you and just go ahead and you got Google, put it together. Or if you want me to put things together, right, and make a video about it, I have no problem. But like I said, what are we gonna do about the celebrities? What is it gonna help? What is it going to help? They're still gonna have their money, and we're not gonna have what they got. We're not gonna have even close to what they have. A lot of people have a lot. A lot of people don't have a lot. A lot of people have a medium amount, which is in between that, right? So what is it gonna change? Is it gonna make you more happy to see them suffer? And some of them, majority of them, are not gonna suffer. They're just gonna be like, okay, we're just gonna come up with something new, and we're just gonna shut off exactly the access of what they got. If you play chess, you know how people think. You are very analytic when it comes to studying people. I had to let people know. I had to let some of my people that it's funny how I think about this every time. I had to let some of the people that did not know that I'm very actually smart, where I don't let people know how smart I really am. And I'm not smarter than anybody. I'm just knowledgeable to an extent of what I know, right? I had to let them win in a game of chess just so that I could see their personality. I could see how they act and behave. And they felt like powerful. And let's put it like this: if somebody uses the same moves every time, and they only use 3 to 4 of the same moves every time when they play you, and you use the same move every time when you play them, and they have not won 3 or 4, not that they not that they're using the same move every time. They're using 3 to 4 of the move, 4 different aspects of, a way to win, but they're doing it exactly the same. Not like they're studying you or anything. They're doing it exactly the same. This and that and that and that and that, because they know exactly how you're gonna move. Just to make it seem as if you switched it up. You switched the game up. You switched the scheme up. The schematics. Sorry if you're watching this video. I'm just saying. I gave you 4 aspects on how you can win, and you won. But it doesn't change the fact that you're gonna know me any more than what I've already given you. A lot of times, like I said, we're doing all of these things. They're playing chess. They wear their hearts on their sleeve, and they still hide a lot. That's why you gotta put your heart on your sleeve. Don't be hiding your heart. Put it on your sleeve. Trust me, it's better to put it on your sleeve, because at least it's better to be blameless than to have things to hold on to, and everybody blame you for everything. Realistically speaking, a lot of times these things happen, but like I said, we are all worried about celebrities of this and that and that and the third. They're playing chess. This is literally an enterprise of monopoly. They're monopolizing, monetizing, advertising, everything. Your information, your time, and also researching you on what you like. And they got platforms to study you however way that you want. However way that they can get information off of you. Through your cameras, through the sensors of the chemical reactions that can give off a certain check through your brain, that can tell and give them a precise aspect of what you could possibly be thinking. It's like a radio scan. They can do that with things that you put in your ear, which is really close to your head. I think they call EFRs, but I can't remember exactly the exact name. I gotta go back to my notes or just go back to the mental vault. But certain things just don't have it. Like benevolent. I said that word that right. I said that word right this time. Benevolent. Like I told you, the word is gonna come back, and I'm gonna say it properly. We're all worried about all of these things. Money, 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 money is gonna be the world's destruction. How many times has money destroyed the world? Has it not happened already 3 times? Every civilization that has already existed, money destroyed their nation terribly. They destroyed each other, and money destroyed them. A cycle that's repeating every single era that comes with a new life form, people that are evolved, that are given sight, that are given enlightenment. Money destroys them. Their greed, the aspect of them being profoundly, yes, money is a tool, but don't let money fool you, because a lot of people, when they don't have control and they get money, they lose their control. The aspect of them having money makes them different. It gives them a different life of understanding where the people that they're around too project a certain lifestyle towards them. I told myself, if I got money or not, I don't care if I'm around people that are rich or not. It would never change me. It would never change the purpose that I have in this world and who I am as a person. And that is a truth that would never be changed. It will never be changed. Doesn't matter the amount of women, because I didn't got offers before on some crazy stuff. But it doesn't change much. I speak truth all the time. And a lot of like even in my previous video, I said a lot of the people that are in power as of the moment, they are getting removed off of their seats because they have convoluted themselves and brought a lot of chaos on things that are sacred and things that are very much sacred. Things that are sacred. They corrupted it. They were given, even if they are in a state of doing bad, right, to people, right? It's one thing where you're given authority, when you're given access, because a lot of times people think that, oh, for you to be this, even if you're joined with cults or whatever, no, you still gotta get those devils and demons and fallens. They have to still get permission from Yahuwah. They might do things, but they know themselves the laws and the regulations of how things work. They still have to get permission. They can't just do it off of ease just because they feel like it. There has to be a balance into things, and they have made things very unbalanced. That's why there's so much going on right now in the upper higher places, on where all of these people were fixating our eyes on. That's why all of these things are happening. You might think that it's a charade where a lot of people are acting. Yes, there is a lot of acting, but there is a lot of truth that's also out. And there's a reason for that. And the reason for that is because the time has come. The new world is coming. And I'm not talking about the one world religion world. No, I'm talking about, because the one world religion ain't nothing really, it's not really a problem. If you really are anything that happens that is supposed to be destructive or it's going to have collateral damage, right? You shouldn't even be worried about it in a sense of having fear. Just prepare yourself. Prepare your shield and your armor and your sword. Let Yahuwah be your guard, your weapon, your tactics, your eyes, your ears, your knowledge. Because a lot of people step in the battlefield and they die. Some people step in the battlefield and they walk around without a sword or a weapon. If you're a mage, I'm just being very funny, right? If you're a mage, right, you drop your staff. You drop your staff. If this was an RPG game, right? You drop your staff. You drop your staff. You drop your staff. You drop your spell book. Because why? You just did not. You did not prepare yourself. You heard the trumpet. The trumpet rang, and you dropped everything. You don't know any tactics. You weren't there in the time of training. You went out, and you went out to drink. You went out to get drunk. You went out to get high. You went out to have fun and lose sight of what was actually important. And then when it was time to come back to battle, you're all scared. Your legs are shaking. You don't know because you're scared that you might lose your life because you went out to have fun rather than preparing yourself for this war. And it's that serious. Lightning will strike every day. Just hope that it's not you being in the mix. That's why I pray for everyone. And I'm going to end this here with love. I hope that everybody understood that we are all love. We're made unconditionally. That's why instead of talking about love making music, we're going to have to make some loving music, not love making music, baby making music. Not let me not say that. Baby making music, not that sexual seductive stuff. Right? Not that sexual seductive stuff. Sexual seductive stuff. That's exactly what a lot of people are living their life of based off. Sexual seductive stuff. So understand that we are all alive. We need to be alive so that we can live good. We need to love each other so we can all live good. We need to understand each other so that we can all live good. Live good and beautiful. Alright? Because why? It takes many. It takes a village. It takes a community, an ecosystem to raise babes. We are all children to one and each other, to one another, to one another. We're all brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers, uncles and aunts, grandmothers, grandfathers to many. And we need to act like we're family. That's just how this world is supposed to be. That's the only way we're going to grow. That's the only way we're going to shine, and that's the only way we're going to be better. That's the only way we're going to stop being in toxic relationships. That's the only way we're going to stop taking BS from a lot of toxic situationships. From being better. From having control. Because what would be the matter of you having sex before marriage? There's a possibility your child is going to come out not under wedlock. And that will be considered a sin. So, please. And for those that are taking a lot of L's, as far as, I'm just going to say losses, as far as being disrespected out here on the media, my hopes is to you, my hat is to you. Walk in the right path. Open yourself to good. Do good and great and righteous and pure. In a sense of innocence unto others. What you have lost, what you were taken from, give it to someone else. That's where your true love is going to be at. Alright? If you have 10 minutes, give it to someone. If 10 minutes was taken off, give 10 minutes to someone that wants your 10 minutes. Don't be stingy now. Don't be stingy. But I'm gonna end this video here. And if nobody told you they love you today, I love you dearly. With the love of Yahushua, right? With the love of Him in me. I love you dearly. I love you even if it wasn't the fact that He said to love you. I love you. I love you all. I thank you for joining me today. In a sense of being with me, around me. and just understanding that we're here to learn. So if you got any questions, put in the comment sections. If you got any answers, put in the comment section. And if you want to talk to me, just put in the comment section. Put it all in there. We're here as a family. All right. I'll be waiting for you guys to call, messages, whatever the case. Messages, whatever the case is. All right. I love you. Y'all will love you. Much abundance, much love, much, 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 much favor and grace and mercy upon you. All right. Abundantly. Wisdom, strength, endurance. And did I say love again? Yeah. And protection. Protect yourself, your spirit, your heart, and your mind. Right.